semifinal will play in Tuesday night's title game against the survivor of Game 2, both #1 seeds, North Carolina and Tennessee. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. LSU is making its 4th consecutive Final Four appearance under 3 different head coaches. And now the man in charge, Bob Starkey, is the acting head coach, and he doesn't even want the job full time. Considering all the distractions swirling around the program, his 4-0 record is remarkable. For more on that, let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, Mike, for those not familiar with the LSU situation, let's just quickly recap. In mid-February, LSU assistant coach Carla Berry went to LSU officials with allegations of inappropriate contact with head coach Pokey Chapman and several former players while they were still on the team. LSU began looking into the complaint and had an administrator shadow Pokey when she was alone with current players. After the SEC tournament, Berry told Chapman of the complaint. Chapman resigned within days, and Bob Starkey was named the acting head coach. Now, the university is no longer investigating Chapman, who remains on the payroll until the end of the month. The players we have spoken with say that initial 72 hours was frantic and hectic, but that it hasn't been as bad as people might think since. They've been able to focus on basketball. Coach Chapman is still in contact with several of her players. She called Sylvia Fowles after the UConn game. Sylvia said, "She told me what I did well and what I could do better, and that she's proud of us." So Sylvia says she's not playing for Coach Chapman tonight. The players all admit that they're focused on playing for themselves and reaching the national championship.
Holly, thanks very much. Doris Burke joins me now. And Doris, when Bob Starkey took over, no histrionics. It was just business as usual.
This was a humble, low-key man by nature who made it clear from the outset that his first concern was the players as people. The basketball was secondary. His temperament and knowledge have helped this team navigate through very choppy waters, Mike.
All right, the biggest matchup tonight, no pun intended, is right in the middle.
Yeah, at 6'6" with size and skill, Sylvia Fowles is the best post player in the country. She will alter your defensive schemes. She will also change the way you get your points. The one body remaining who's got the skill and the strength to match up with her is a highly skilled post in her own right. Kia Vaughn is sensational around the rim. This is a better basketball team when they look to establish her. Both teams have got quality centers who finish at a high percentage, Mike.
Working the sidelines for us tonight, Mark Jones. Mark, what do you have?
Well, I see Vivian Stringer is the first coach period to take 3 different teams to the Final Four, doing it with Cheney State, Iowa, and then Rutgers. Her strength is her resourcefulness, as well as the fact that she connects well with players. In fact, earlier this season, back in December, when the team was 5-5, with the season in the balance still hanging, Stringer, before the game against St. John's, drew a picture on the chalkboard of a village. The people in the village had short arms. The people also had long forks. The moral of the story to her team was, guys, you have to feed yourselves if you're going to survive. And since that time, they have been a picture, guys, of cohesiveness. But against LSU, those forks, Mike, might have to be a little longer tonight.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for both of these clubs as we get ready to start semifinal #1. And for Rutgers, in the backcourt, Matee Adjavon, as hot as any player in the country right now. Epiphany Prince, her running mate in guard. Zurich and Carson, the forwards. Kia Vaughn, the sophomore center, in the middle. For LSU, a 3-guard lineup: Erica White, Rashante LeBlanc, and Kiana Cheney. Up front, Ashley Thomas and the All-American Sylvia Fowles. ESPN's coverage of the 2007 NCAA Women's Final Four, broadcast in high definition, presented by Olivier. Rutgers in red, LSU in the home white. And the Scarlet Knights control the opening tip. Epiphany Prince, almost a 2-to-1 turnover ratio this year. Essence Carson with the ball right now. She's had nearly as many turnovers as she has had assists from the backcourt.
This will be like a 1-0 pitching duel. Both teams excel on the defensive end. It probably will be low scoring. LSU opens in a man-to-man. They'll show you a point zone, and that's important. If they can make shots and extend LSU's defense and make makes those driving lanes easier to attack.
Adjavon averaging nearly 17 points a game. She was the most outstanding player in the Greensboro Regional, the MVP of the Big East tournament. She has saved her best basketball for this time of the year. Follow on the miss by Ashley Thomas, and Ashley Thomas will draw a foul and go to the free throw line.
Well, Rutgers opened in a man-to-man situation, and that is going to be a tough match for Heather Zurich.
The road to the Final Four for Rutgers, really an easy time against East Carolina and Michigan State. Duke was the key game, a team they had lost to by 40 points earlier in the season, and they beat them in the regional semifinals. Thomas, only a 57% free throw shooter, and LSU has had a history of poor free throw shooting. 0 for 2, but an offensive rebound in the tie-up. Possession arrow gives it right back to the Lady Tigers.
Well, Bob Starkey is a guy who focused on his strengths. He taught the game, he watched film, and their routine didn't change once they started in the NCAA tournament. There isn't a lot of time, Mike. There's not a lot of extra time for people to be worried about the Pokey Chapman situation. So he felt like once the game started, he was in good shape.
An X's and O's guy who was very comfortable with what he does. Loose ball recovered by Carson.
LSU needs to defend the first 10 seconds of the shot clock really well, and also the final 10 seconds, because Rutgers looks to attack off the dribble when they get inside of 10.
Adjavon, good pass inside. Prince gets the bucket and draws the foul.
There is not a senior on this roster, but do you love Rutgers' presence coming out? They are relaxed and focused.
Here's the way LSU got here. UNC Asheville, West Virginia, which was a close game for them. Florida State, and then they thumped #1 seeded UConn in the regional final, beat it by 23. Three-point play for Prince.
Sylvia Fowles was a dominant force. At 6'6", Sylvia Fowles has got size, strength, and skill. She is the most unusual post game the women's game has ever seen.
Rutgers with the early 6-0 lead. Fowles with her first opportunity and goes with a little baby hook and got it.
That is tough to guard with that size at 6'6". If she stretches that arm out, you are not going to block that shot.
Either one of these centers get the ball in a position like that, it's pretty much a given that they are going to score.
And now they go to that point zone. It looks like a 1-3-1. It's a point zone matchup by LSU.
Carson, shot clock at 7, and Adjavon is the player they want to have the ball in this situation.
We talked about Sylvia Fowles altering your schemes on the defensive end. They told Kia Vaughn just try to make it tough on her to catch the basketball, but if you allow her that deep post position, as you said, Mike, that's an easy make for her.
Adjavon called for a double dribble. Thomas has Zurich on her. And the defense collapses on foul. There's the defensive Carson. She has the block. Well, Blank is back. She can't stop her. Zurich with a miss. Carson made herself some room, then had it partially blocked by Thomas. An opportunity goes awry for Rutgers. Fouls, not this time. Fouls, offensive rebound. No. Lost out of bounds, out to LSU.
Both teams missing some easy opportunities. Now, Sylvia generally likes to turn over that left shoulder. First time, she turns over the opposite.
She is averaging 17.5 points a game and almost 13 rebounds a game. That's how dominant she is. But she's up against a good one tonight. Vaughn will give as good as she gets.
LSU back to the man-to-man, so they're switching defenses depending on makes or misses.
Adjavon. Both teams perhaps a little tight early.
You see, Rutgers is testing Erica White's ability to make shots. They are sagging to give Vaughn a little bit of help in spots.
Thomas wide open, short on the 2. It's obvious they've made up their mind. Fouls is not going to get all the easy shots. Somebody's going to have to score from outside, like Heather Zurich just did there for Rutgers.
Well, essentially they're in a four-guard lineup because Heather Zurich brings great size, but she's more of a shooter than she is a low-post player.
Great start for the Scarlet Knights. They're up 9-2. Fouls. Oh, nice move to get close. Then she missed it.
A good discipline by Vaughn. She absolutely cannot afford to get foul trouble, so just make it a tough shot and then back off.
And she did just that. Once she was beaten, she didn't go ahead and commit the silly foul. If it was going to be a basket, it was going to be a basket. And as it turned out, they got a break. Rutgers playing so calmly and so well at the end of the season. And Drano for Essence Carson is a 32% long-range shooter, but buried that one, and it's 12-2.
That young lady has struggled mightily in the NCAA tournament, but did that come off her fingers nice and easy? That was pretty.
More known for her defense, the two-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. But tonight, she's already hit a three, and when they get scoring for more than two people, this is a very dangerous team.
Well, Mati Ajavan got things started. No seniors, no problem. Heather Zurich from the right baseline drains it. Essence Carson, the Renaissance woman, 4 instruments. This one all strings.
John and I are thinking of going to Cancun, if we can find a good deal.
That's funny. So are Dan and I.
It's time to play Take On Orbitz. Today's players want a total vacation, hotel plus flight, and must save over $300. Go.
I need a deal to Cancun.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's that easy. Next time, Orbitz and go.
N-O. As in no, Stan. We are not getting a convertible. What are you going to want next, huh? An amp? That is rich.
Calories provide energy, but how much energy do you need? Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.
Fall in love with Papa John's new Italian Meats Trio Pizza. Authentic Italian taste from our better ingredients, like our zesty Robusto sauce and 3 hearty Italian meats, ham, salami, and sausage. Get a large Italian Meats Trio Pizza for $11.99. $11.99. Call or click papajohns.com.
Taste the difference. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
They pick up their games, pick up their teams, and pick up the pace. Enterprise salutes NCAA student athletes for picking us all up. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Having a hot wife can be a real drag. You know, guys are always checking her out. Now she wants to get a convertible? Yeah, right. She should get a beige box with tinted windows. You'll be trying to check her out, and you'll just check out you. She's my wife!
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented on ESPN by Orbitz. Save big at Orbitz.com. Just Orbitz and go. And in part by Pontiac, the official performance machines of the NCAA.
Why Cleveland? Well, Cleveland was the location of the first rock and roll concert. And the foundation was founded in 1983. The museum opened in 95. Rutgers with a 12-2 lead. They have hit 3 of 3 three-pointers.
The officials just looked at the break, whether Essence Carson's last shot was a 3, and indeed they counted it as such. Back to the point zone goes LSU, so driving lanes are important here for Rutgers.
So far, just moving the ball around the perimeter of the zone. And now Prince, who averaged 41 points a game during her high school career, misses that shot. She has not shot well during this tournament.
No, but she had the most important shot in the tournament for Rutgers, a game breaker at the end, steals the basketball out of Renisha Smith from Duke and goes coast to coast.
Fouls trying to maneuver inside. We're going to have a holding call as they were trying to keep her from getting position. Kia Vaughn committed the foul. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, true to form, LSU coach Bob Starkey was not panicked in that last huddle. Very calm, very deliberate. He said, we're not doing a good enough job right now making them guard us on offense. We've got to work harder, so they have to work harder on defense. He said, you've got a lot of energy out there, which is good, but what I need right now is more focus. He also said, I know they're hitting those outside shots, but we have to continue to think drive first.
And that's exactly what they did, Holly. Nice job as Erica White went baseline. And you could see the offensive intensity pick up coming out of that timeout. So they were obviously listening to Bob Starkey.
Well, it's interesting. Both teams want to test the other's willingness and ability to consistently knock down perimeter shots.
Rutgers one and done on the jumper by Carson. Both of these teams known for their defense.
It's interesting, Rutgers playing all man-to-man and all on the half court. They have not spread out into that vaunted 55.
White, another good fake, had it blocked out of bounds out to LSU with 7 on the shot clock.
Vaughn, a tremendous help defender. So if her teammate gets beat, Mike, despite the fact that she's checking fouls, she will go over and give some assistance.
Thomas on the inbound has to hustle to get it. 5 on the shot clock. Cheney has to launch. Got nice rotation on it, but couldn't hit it.
Excellent weak side checkout by Vaughn, doing a sensational job contending with fouls early.
Rutgers has passed the ball exceptionally well until then. Here's White on the run. Adjavon got back. White, good fake. And Adjavon stripped the ball away and then fouled by White. That's 2 on Erica White. What a job by Adjavon.
Well, their key for her is her jump, stop, and go up 2 feet, but she is dealing with hands that are as quick as any she's seen to this point. Adjavon is an outstanding athlete and an exceptionally smart defender. White has got to be solid tonight with her assist-to-turnover ratio.
Call goes against Cheney instead of White, so each of them have 1. That's a break for LSU. Vaughn has yet to get a touch. Boy, she is tough. Mattia Adjavon just lit up the entire gym down in Greensboro. Starting off the swing right here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough night for LSU if Rutgers consistently makes shots against that point zone. Uncontested shots and driving lanes will kill a defense, especially a matchup.
15-4. Look at the defense collapse on the pivot. Nice drive. Ashley Thomas to score. But right now, Sylvia Fowles has 3 people on her anytime she gets within 10 feet of the basketball.
That was the message. They told Kia Vaughn, this is not a matchup between you and Sylvia Fowles. It's Rutgers versus LSU.
Adjavon again, 2 in a row.
This young woman is a hero in Newark, New Jersey to a lot of young women playing basketball. Malcolm X. Shabazz won several state titles, as tough a nut as you'll find in women's college basketball.
She was the key to this team starting so poorly because she was coming back from leg surgery, had a rod inserted in her leg. 3-pointer outside, and there is a block out that just splattered fouls on the floor as 3 people went after her to make sure she didn't get back to the board.
The 2 best defensive teams in the NCAA tournament have been Rutgers and LSU. Rutgers getting the job done, that length, that athleticism, turning into multiple block shots. It's been a tough start for the LSU Tigers.
Here's how it works. Get the nation's slimmest smartphone at our lowest price ever, $79.99. The Silver Cube, with easy access to email and Windows Mobile. It's the stylish way to work. The Silver Cube from Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
And Oh, as in no, Stan. We are not getting a convertible. What are you going to want next, huh? An amp?
That is rich.
Morning. I appreciate someone who's willing to listen. Check the air in the ball. Someone I can count on for great coverage. Somebody's got to get to the basket. That's why my go-to guy is my State Farm agent.
For car insurance, nobody matches State Farm's combination of personal service and low rates.
Even I can't argue with that.
Get a quote today and see how your insurance matches up to number one.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Saturdays, anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday between my boss and my commute. Give me surround sound in my cubicle. Give me grilled chicken that keeps things light with an Asian glaze that keeps things interesting. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me the top down and a wide open lane. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me a new way to eat out. Smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Life is short. Give me more Fridays.
Having a hot wife can be a real drag. You know, guys are always checking her out. Now she wants to get a convertible? Yeah, right. She should get a beige box with tinted windows. You'll be trying to check her out, and you'll just check out you. She's my wife!
Rutgers up big early with 11:16 to go first half. Let's take you back to the last play as Kia Vaughn picked up what could be a critical second personal foul. Look what she did to fouls. I mean, that's just silly to commit that kind of a shove right in the middle of the floor.
You know what's important here is you have to be willing when you're facing a talent like Fowles to concede individual battles in order to win the war. That was one she had to give up. Unwillingness might because she's young.
Rashida Junai, a 6'4" freshman, is in. Thomas fouled from behind on the follow. The difference in this game so far, obviously shooting. Rutgers has hit 5 of 7 three-point shots. LSU is only shooting 20% from the floor, even though, Doris, they're getting good looks because of the collapsing defense.
Yes, exactly. And you know, this is key because Rutgers as a team, this is Vivian Stringer's most prolific three-point shooting team. I think it's their best offensive team since they went to the Final Four in 2000 behind Shawnetta Stewart. Ajavon triggers it, but Carson can score, Prince can score, and certainly Vaughn can score.
Ashley Thomas gets a free throw. She is 1 out of 4 from the line early in this ball game, and it's 18-7. Fowles probably doesn't have to play as much on defense with Junai to the pivot. Right down the lane comes Carson. LSU could really use a couple of easy baskets, 3-on-1. And they'll pass on the shot. Fowles with 4 players collapsing on. Somebody's got to hit the outside shot, and it's Erica White. That's a 2-pointer, but it's big anyway.
This is a gamble that Rutgers is clearly willing to make. Vivian Stringer does not believe White or Thomas can consistently make perimeter shots. Now, if they make a couple, you wonder if Rutgers takes a step closer.
I mean, these aren't even hard shots. These are 12, 14-footers. White on the run again. Good fake to get inside, then blew the shot. Ajavon back the other way. Zurich. Wide open, she'll bury him.
She's made 2 good shots. I feel like she's a little bit shaken up on the defensive end. Ashley Thomas is a tough matchup. If I'm LSU, if you're not getting touches for fouls, let Thomas touch it at the free throw line.
Allison Hightower, number 23, in for LSU. Fouls, that pass is tipped and picked off. Ajavon. Great crossover, still can't get free for a good shot. Offensive rebound, Junai double dribble. Let's go to Holly Rowe. Holly.
Point guard Erica White of LSU was quick to point out that the last several trips to the Final Four, where they have had futile attempts to get to that national championship game, have been different. She said the last couple of times we were here, we would just wait for Simone Augustus to bail us out. We'd get down to 5 seconds on the shot clock and hope she was on. She said this year we're a better team. We're coming into the postseason playing better. We're more balanced. She thinks this is a year to get over that slump of getting to the Final Four and losing.
Well, they better start. It's 20-9, Holly. Good drive, but no shot from Hightower. The freshman, who averages 6.1 points a game off the bench.
Rashida Junaid is only averaging about 7 minutes per game in the NCAA tournament. How does she react for the remainder of this half?
If they can afford to keep her in there as long as they can maintain their lead. Another three. Carson. She's a 32% long-range shooter. All these kids right now are looking like the best three-point shooting team in the country, even though they only hit 35% on the year.
When Carson came in, she could not make shots as a freshman. That is a self-made player.
Wide open jumper there for Portia Phillips. Another freshman. She's out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Started 6 games this year. And look at Rutgers' numbers, 6 out of 8. That'll get it done. 23-11. Good defense by Fowles as Adjavon telegraphed that pass. White. Nice drive. Trying to get by Junaid and did. Junaid not nearly as mobile as Kia Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn would have sent that into the third row, but the keeper, right, she jump stops, and that gets her under control, and then she goes up powerful.
And at 5'3", she doesn't care if somebody 6'4" is in there. She'll try it anyway.
Back to the man-to-man. So they're man-to-man on makes, and in that matchup zone on misses, Rutgers has got to adjust.
Kicked and out of bounds. 6 turnovers for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. But they have lived and lived well from three-point land tonight. 18 of their 23 points have come on bombs.
We represent the Coke brand, and we would love to somehow bring some kind of legal action against Coke Zero.
Why? Because they've infringed upon our taste.
There's got to be something that you guys can find as common ground which would benefit everyone. There has to be, okay?
I think the best thing is to you know, wipe them off the face of the earth.
Da, 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 da.
I'm told you are the master. I seek your help today. I like fantasy baseball, but I don't want to play. You need live scoring power. I'll take Joe Mauer. Mock draft lobby. You should pick up a Rowdy. ESPN Fantasy Baseball is free. Look at me now. I just drafted Carlos Lee. Fantasy baseball is free. Fantasy baseball is free at a draft.
Julia McGregor loves college basketball. She drives to the games in her Pontiac G6. The upgrade in power gets her there fast. The upgrade in design gets her there in style. And the upgrade in seating capacity gets her there with tonight's rival coach, Bob Knight.
See you after the game, Coach Knight.
Get your upgrade now at the Pontiac Upgrade event and get a G6 with the best coverage in America. Plus, get 0% financing and $1,000 bonus cash. The Pontiac Upgrade event ends April 3rd.
Hi, Matt LePay for Capital Ford and Kia, where we have dozens of used cars for under $10,000. Get what you want. Toyotas, Hondas, Fords, Chevys for less than $200 a month. Buy any used vehicle and you're automatically enrolled in Capital's exclusive rewards program. And you'll get tires for life as well. Reliable used cars under $200 a month with rewards and tires for life. Only at Capital Ford. Call 800-640-9646 or go to capitalfordkia.com.
John Butchgrass with you, 30 at 30 update. Wow, Michael Phelps wins yet another gold medal, his 7th. 8 medals in all at the World Championships in Australia. 7th gold medal for Michael Phelps. He gets the 400-meter individual medley today. And Morgan Pressel, youngest player to win a major in LPGA history. She's 18 years and 11 months. Full details on SportsCenter after Tennessee and North Carolina. If
they investigate Michael Phelps, they're going to find out he has gills. He's doing something. Sylvia Fowles' last basket came almost 10 minutes ago for LSU. One of the reasons they're down by 10.
Yeah, they have it. She hasn't had a shot in over 10 minutes. How about get her one look?
Nice runner, no basket again for Hightower, who's given them some energy coming off the bench, but no points.
Well, that was a key that Stacey Dales touched on in the pregame show. She talked about Hightower and her ability to come off, bring energy and scoring. She hasn't done it yet.
Brittany Ray, number 35, is in for the first time for Rutgers. And this is going to be a foul as Carson misses a shot but draws the personal. The Women's NCAA Championship will continue later tonight with North Carolina against Tennessee. It's our second Final Four game. The NCAA Women's Championship presented on ESPN by Orbitz, also available in high definition on ESPN HD. We are the exclusive home of the NCAA Women's Championship. Carson at the line as Hightower picked up her first foul. And this is an area of improvement for Rutgers. They were a bad free throw shooting team. Then they got to the Big East tournament. They really improved it. They got to the NCAA. They're shooting lights out.
Yeah, this is a team that's come a long way. In Vivian Stringer's estimation, the team that's come the furthest in the shortest period of time. They could not defend to her level of expectation early. It was personally offending to her. And here comes a little bit of a stretch defense now, extending out all that athleticism.
Cheney back in there for LSU. Want to get the ball to Fowles, but they have been unable to with that collapsing defense. White goes down the lane, scoop shot and got it. 5'3" Erica White with 8 points. She's keeping her club in it.
Yeah, off the dribble, she is exceptional. The key for her is when she gets in the lane, Mike, is she making good decisions once she's in that scoring area.
25-15. Carson, very willing to shoot tonight. Zurich with a follow, no. Knocked out of bounds, out to Rutgers.
With Kia Vaughn on the bench, you would think that LSU would make some headway and give Sylvia Fowles, the most dominant post player in the country, a chance at the basketball. They're completely ignoring her on the offensive end.
Just wonder what they can devise to get the ball to her with everybody collapsing around her. It's almost like Shaq when he played at LSU, and there's another outside shot by Essence Carson. She has 10 points in 14 minutes. White again, back down court, fouled. That'll be on Ray. One on Brittany Ray.
Rutgers wants to make somebody other than Sylvia Fowles beat them. So what are they doing? They are making sure there are multiple bodies around her every time she's around the basketball. Vaughn early. Now the triple team with Vaughn out, giving the rookie, Rashida Junai, a little bit of assistance. So you've got two things going here. Their inability to get her the basketball and Rutgers' focus on prohibiting her from touching.
White misses the first free throw. As a team, LSU 1 out of 5 tonight.
Seems like such a simple skill, doesn't it? 15 feet, no defender in your face.
That's because it is. There's just no excuse for it.
Erica White leading the way. She's outscored the rest of her teammates single-handedly.
It's that free throw. 5:31 to go first half. 27-16. Ashley Thomas will come back in. And Portia Phillips, the freshman, will sit. Adjavon to bring it up.
Not surprisingly, 19 points between your two most experienced players, Adjavon and Carson.
Adjavon went to the floor but kept the dribble alive. Very heady player. Prince, no. Fouls with a rebound.
LSU will at times, Mike, institute a 5-pass rule, and there must be a post entry. Let's see if they look to go to that route.
Cheney, good head fake. Got in the lane, missed the shot. Little line drive that didn't have any mark on it at all. Prince back the other way. Good feed. Fouls, comes out of nowhere to stuff Junai's shot.
Twice on the pipes. She will not make it easy for you to get points in the paint. 6'6", highly athletic, and able to recover quickly. How about that? Her hand is almost up on top of the square.
She who hesitates is lost, and Junide hesitated just enough to let Fowles recover. See Vivian Stringer hoping for basket interference, but won't get it. Here's Mark Jones.
Yeah, guys, Rutgers upped their championship karma quotient. In a chance meeting a couple of days ago, they were dining at a local steakhouse here in Cleveland when they ran into none other than Billie Jean King. That's right, the former tennis champion. Had a chat with the team for about 30 minutes. She talked to them about winning, about championships, how to take cues on how to be a champion, looking for things in their opponents' reaction, their opponent's posture in their eyes, and especially, guys, when to pounce and win. Back to you guys.
Point she could, too. She's such an entertaining player and an entertaining interview. It was one of the joys of my life to get to sit down and talk to her 3 or 4 times. She was just so much fun.
No, she takes her role as a lead person in women's sports to go ahead and make sure that she's vocalizing all the right things. Her message, every action has a consequence. Great report from Mark. Every action has a consequence, and these players have lived by that idea.
Adjuvon with a runner. Junide, good job to keep it alive, but Fowles right in her face. And White got to it first, then had it knocked away, and it will be LSU basketball. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, Bob Starkey called that last time out for LSU, and he really lit his ladies up in the huddle. He said, they're not guarding you because you're not making them. He said, if you will make them guard you, meaning run your offense, they will foul you. He's very frustrated right now that they are not running their sets, they're not moving. He wants them to actually execute on offense and force Rutgers into some action.
All right, Holly. Epiphany Prince picked up a foul on that last play. It was her first. And White very reluctant to take an outside shot. Thomas, loose ball, tied up. It's a jump ball situation. It goes to Rutgers. Timeout, 3:45 to go first half. Rutgers has led from the start.
What are you doing?
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it.
Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, he has Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
I mean, why would you ask me out? Clearly, this is the package that you were drawn to. And then, what? Let's put the top down? That's crazy. Because I have a lot invested here. I know that this looks effortless.
Saturdays, anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday between my boss and my commute. Give me surround sound in my cubicle. Give me grilled chicken that keeps things light with an Asian glaze that keeps things interesting. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me the top down and a wide open lane. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me a new way to eat out. Smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Life is short. Give me more Fridays.
Hello?
Melissa, it's Josh from last night.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Listen, I know there's that 2-day rule about calling or whatever, and this might sound totally dumb, but did you feel like there was a real connection between us? I mean, you know, like a brother-sister connection? Nothing creepy. I mean, like, you know, I would never make out with my sister.
Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Now get an ultra-thin Samsung phone for only $19.99.
A convertible? Me, absolutely not. Because, you know, I get freezing. First of all, very freezing all the time. Ever since a condition that I've had since, you know, I know it's a metaphor, but I think I actually do have ice water in my veins. Poetic, but makes the winter months particularly difficult.
3:45 to go first half. Rutgers, Doris, with an 11-point lead here.
They've taken great use of the skip pass against the point zone. This time they make use of a double screen. Why? Well, this is the man-to-man that LSU has thrown off them. Solid read by Essence Carson. Her player comes around the screen. She simply curls. The defender's on her back. It's a nice, easy jump shot.
They have played nearly letter-perfect basketball in this first half at both ends of the court.
This is a different challenge for them defensively, Mike. This is a motion offense, a read-oriented offense by LSU, so there are no distinct cuts. Rutgers typically knows its opponent's patterns as well as they do.
Adjavon, what a shot.
She is almost ridiculous, the clip at which she's scoring the basketball, the ease with which they're putting the ball in the basket.
The junior from Newark dominating this game again, and the defensive pressure turns LSU over.
Now, this is a phenomenal athlete who's got great elevation. That's a larger defender, but because of her ability to get off the feet, it makes it an easy shot.
LSU needs to burn another timeout as they have fallen down by 13. Adjavon, 17 points a game in the Final Four. Here's the Final Four summary. Tennessee in this Final Four, the 17th time. Nobody's ever done it that many. LSU, 4 straight, even though they're 0-3. Carolina won its national championship in '94, and Rutgers in its second appearance in the Final Four under Steve Vivian Stringer, who took 2 other teams to a Final Four appearance in the NCAA.
And our second matchup should be great. You've got the nation's most dangerous fast break in North Carolina against the nation's best player, the Wade Trophy winner, Candace Parker. If you have not seen her, folks, tune in to Game 2.
Adjavon working that high screen. She has such great control of the basketball. She knew she was going to miss that shot. Went after it, couldn't get it. Fouls. Comes out, had it blocked. And Rutgers with a fresh 30 on the shot clock.
You cannot be loose with the basketball when Rutgers is around.
Carson! Essence Carson and Mattia Adjavon are just killing LSU.
Here's the vaunted 55 where they get in your face man-to-man and they try to trap you and make you play faster than you want to.
15 points, biggest lead of the game. Kalila Mitchell is getting more and more minutes as the season wears along. Gets her first shot. Can't hit the runner, and here comes Rutgers again. Epiphany Prince. And now to Adjavon. Total control of the tempo of this game. And Carson burns another one. Essence Carson is a 32% long-range shooter.
Doesn't look like it at all in his first half. You cannot panic if you're LSU. Go to your strengths.
Fouls, triple team. And the defense has just hamstrung the All-American center. Adjavon. The basket must look like the ocean right now. They can't miss a thing.
This team smells blood, and they are jumping all over LSU because they sense that this is a shaken basketball team.
8 out of 11 3-point shots. Chaney with a runner. No. There's a lid at one end and not the other. Chaney backs out for 3 and knocks it down. 37-19.
They are throwing haymaker after haymaker, and LSU has not responded one bit. They are testing the mental toughness of an LSU Tiger team that has more Final Four experience. You'd never know it. Essence Carson draining jump shots. Mattia Adjavon off the bounce. The Renaissance woman, a great student, a great player. And the bench, oh yeah, we look good tonight, folks.
Well, if they're throwing haymakers, down goes Frazier. Because they're killing them.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a difference about Vivian Stringer in this Final Four. She told us yesterday, listen, we never expected to be here. There's absolutely zero pressure on us. There's not a senior on our roster. We started out the season, we were 2-4. This is gravy.
Well, it's a big boat right now. 37-19 with a minute 4 to go. The largest deficit overcoming the Final Four is 16. So LSU with history against them and a team that's on fire against them right now. When shooters get hot, they think they can throw it in from anywhere. Tipped and out of bounds to LSU. And the Lady Tigers could sure use something to go their way in the final 37.3.
And remember, this is not unprecedented. In an earlier game in the NCAA tournament, Sylvia Fowles was abysmal. She came out and dominated in the second half. Coach Starkey has got to be reminding his players that they've got the best center in the game.
Came up short on the little jump hook. Keep in mind, Rutgers has done this without Kia Vaughn, who spent most of the first half on the bench with 2 fouls. So even without their best defensive player, they've been able to do it with team defense and shut down that All-American center.
Credit Rashida Junaid. She did not hurt them.
Adjavon gives it up to Carson. 2 on the shot clock. And finally, Essence Carson misses everything. Before, it was just missing the rim and ripping it through for 3. What a first half. Kia Vaughn, no points. Sylvia Fowles, 2 points. It may not seem like much, but that is the story of the ball game. Let's go to Holly Rowe.
Coach Starkey, you're the best field goal percentage defense in the country, but what's different about your defense tonight?
I don't think there's anything different about our defense. I think Mattia stepped up and made some great shots. I mean, she's just had an outstanding first half. I think we gave her a couple shots early, which we wanted to do, and then we adjusted. She still stepped up and made them. I think you got to give her a lot of credit.
What frustrations do you have on offense right now?
Well, we're just not executing. I think when we had some good possessions, we got to the free throw line, or we got some good shots. I think a couple times we got good shots and we didn't finish, and now we're not being very patient making them guard us.
All right, thanks very much. Let's check in with Mark Jones.
Coach, offensively, you guys are in a good flow right now. Defensively, how do you continue to make Sylvia Fowles a non-factor scoring?
We just got to do what we're doing, which is giving her a lot of, just trying to double up, dropping down, try not to let her beat us. But we are looking to double it. The inside person, the 5, is pressing up, pushing up on her, and the 4 is dropping back down in coverage. We're fully aware of where she is at all times. I mean, she's a machine. So what we've got to do is make sure that we're blocking her out, and then everybody else has got to go to the boards to rebound. And so far it's working. We'll just see what happens in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Mike, they shut down the machine so far.
Boy, they sure have, Mark. Our halftime scores: Rutgers 37, LSU 19. Now let's go to Trey Wingo. Trey?
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Wow, what a first half, joined by Kara Lawson and Stacey Dales. Advantage Rutgers in every way you could put an advantage, Kara. You said it to me just a few minutes ago. When they hit shots like this, 8 of 10, are they beatable?
I don't think they are, Trey. When Rutgers shoots the basketball like they did in the first half, because of their stellar defense, I think they're unbeatable. Look at what they've done to the best center in the country, Sylvia Fowles. It's a game plan. It's Kia Vaughn using her physical body, pushing her out. And I said in the pregame, it's the quality of touches that Sylvia Fowles gets, not allowing her to get those offensive rebounds that she's so used to getting, pushing her away from the basket. There you see the quadruple team. So it's all about where Sylvia Fowles is catching the basketball, and you can see she's frustrated. Shots that she normally makes, she's missing right now in the first half.
And Karen, Trey, who would have thunk it? Rutgers shooting the ball as well as they are, 8 for 11 from the three-point land. Tiajavon came in this game and she said, huh? You ain't gonna guard me for the free? Okay. Bam, in your face. 3 threes for her. And how about Essence Carson stepping up? And this is what happens. You shoot the long ball well early. You get that kind of penetration right there. That's Epiphany Prince to Heather Zurich in the lane. If they do that throughout the rest of this game, I don't know if they can beat them. LSU is going to make some defensive adjustments in the second half. I think they're going to have to do some face guarding.
Well, they need to do something just so people understand the deficit that they're facing. 18, largest Final Four deficit overcome 16. 19 points for LSU at the first half, matches their season low of points in any game, and the largest deficit they've overcome all season, 14 points. When we return on the halftime show, Sylvia Hatchell of North Carolina will join us to talk about the upcoming semifinal matchup between her Heels and the Lady Vols of Tennessee. Stay with us.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented on ESPN by Orbitz, is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
It's time to play Take on Orbitz. This week's winner is you. That's right, you.
Go to Orbitz.com during the Hotel Mega Sale and save $100 on 5 nights at select hotels nearly anywhere in the world. Just Orbitz and go.
They pick up touchdowns, pick up the bucks, and pick up their teams. Enterprise salutes NCAA student athletes for picking us all up. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
You give a little love, and it all comes back to you. You're gonna be remembered for the things that you say and do. You give a little love, and it all comes back to you.
I was responsible for bruises, abrasions, and a few stitches. After I graduated, I became a nurse. It only seemed fair.
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports.
Boston's the gourmet pizza. It's what a real sports bar is all about. Watching your favorite games, including all the NCAA tournament games, and get plenty of the good stuff sports fans love. Ribs, wings, incredible gourmet pizzas, and plenty of college basketball. Boston's has daily happy hour specials, and the entire menu is served till close every night. Enjoy a real sports bar. Boston's fun place, serious food.
Every month we used to fight over the bill, and then we got Charter Telephone. Now we can both talk as much as we want for one low rate. I can call my girl back home and talk all day.
Yep.
And Bob can call his and talk all night.
Yep.
These days we get along great.
You still eat my cookies.
You still leave dirty socks on the couch. Don't even get me started about the dishes.
Get Charter Telephone for only $29.99 a month for 3 months. Just call 1-877-SAVE-196 and we'll take care of the rest.
At the break of the first national semifinal, advantage Rutgers. Matee Ajavon, 4 of 4 from deep. As a team, they're shooting 80%. They lead by 18 at the break. Welcome into the halftime show. Glad you're here with us. We've grown by 1, ladies and gentlemen. Along with Carol Lawson and Stacey Dales, delighted to be joined by North Carolina head coach Sylvia Hatchell as you get ready for your semifinal coming up against Tennessee. Before we get to your thoughts on what you've seen from this game, you've played Tennessee recently in the last year twice. You've beaten them handily both times, including 1 year ago here in this building, Sylvia, for the regional final. What's going to make it different tonight?
Well, I don't know if we beat them handily, but we have been able to beat them. I think both teams, are just great defensively. Both teams like transition. Rebounding will be big. I think you got 2 very similar teams that are really going to play a great game tonight.
Well, they certainly have the ability to score. Both of you do. And when you think of Tennessee and you're going up against them, your mind first goes to Candace Parker, State Farm Wade Trophy winner. How do you slow her down? How do you get her out of her rhythm?
Well, she's such a great player. I think you've got to throw different things at her, different people, different looks, different combinations. We're going to try a lot of different things tonight, but she's such a great player, but she's not the whole Tennessee team. They've got a lot of good players, so we've got a lot of things to focus on. Is it hard not to get everybody to focus on her and worry about everything else because of all the things she can do? Well, because we've played them, we know how good they are. We know what Hornbuckle can do. We just know all their players. So, again, I think we've got to do a lot of things to try to keep them out of balance and out of rhythm. Ivory has been struggling a little bit with her
shooting the last 10 games, about 34% from the floor, 25% from deep. How do you get her going early in this game?
Well, we run some things to give her some looks, to try to get her some good open looks. But, you know, it's not all about Ivory scoring. It's about her leading our team. We've got a lot of people that can score. I just want Ivory to lead our team and, you know, force the tempo up and down the court.
Well, we'll see if she can do that. The national semifinal coming up after the conclusion of the game between Rutgers and LSU, which right now is all LSU. Sylvia, we appreciate your time. Good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you after the game.
Sounds good.
Sylvia Hatchell of North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on. Again, the team they are playing in the next semifinal is Tennessee. Tennessee, no stranger to the Final Four, much like LSU and much like North Carolina. They've been here. This is their 17th trip. We continue now with our all-access pass to Tennessee. Before you play, you got to get fuel, which means a pregame meal.
My freshman year, my freshman year, everybody had like their set seats coming in. And you just kind of kept it, and then as people go on, you like change your seats around. And last year, I know Sid, like from Sid to me, this is how we sit. So everybody else just kind of filled in. Watch this team.
And again, before every game, it's the same.
Every free game is the same, but we're not that superstitious.
When we return on the halftime show, more on what's ahead for LSU as they've got to dig themselves out of a hole, down by 18 to Rutgers at the break.
It's time to play Take on Orbits. This week's winner is you. That's right, you.
Go to Orbitz.com during the Hotel Mega Sale and save $100 on 5 nights at select hotels nearly anywhere in the world. Just Orbitz and go.
Anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Give me more Fridays.
Every offseason, you start all over.
Nike Shox A-Rod, only at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Your new TV is awesome. The picture quality is amazing. Check it out, I'm watching basketball.
That's not a TV, dude. That's my new phone.
Shut up.
Hello?
Get out. Singular has TVs that make phone calls?
Oh, hold on one second. Get out the back. Yeah.
Okay.
Only Singular gives you up-to-the-minute exclusive NCAA March Madness video highlights. Singular, now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Don't forget about us, TV.
With Glidden Team Colors paint, you can get the official colors of your favorite team.
Sir, you're all set.
Whoever that may be. Exclusively from Glidden and only at the Home Depot.
Hoop fans, don't miss your chance to go to the 2008 Women's Final Four, April 6th and 8th at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa. Log on to ncaasports.com to apply for your tickets online. That's ncaasports.com. And don't forget the 2008 Men's Final Four, April 5th and 7th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Log on to ncaasports.com to apply for your tickets online. That's ncaasports.com, the official website of the NCAA.
Welcome back. John Butchergoss with you with this update. More basketball on the way between Rutgers and LSU. We begin with the World Championships. Swimming, Michael Phelps, yet another record-setting day. He wins his 7th gold medal at the Worlds with his 5th world record in the 400-meter individual medley. Boy, he wishes it was Beijing 08 right now, as next summer should be a lot of fun watching Michael Phelps at the Olympics. Wow, some great racing in Martinsville. Jimmy Johnson withstood teammate Jeff Gordon's bumping and banging the latter part of the race, as Johnson is a winner for the 26th time in his career. And how about Morgan Pressel? She becomes the youngest major winner in LPGA Tour history. Shy of her 19th birthday, Morgan Pressel wins the Kraft Nabisco Championship by 1 shot. All right, time now for more basketball talk. Back out to Cleveland, Ohio. Trey Wingo with more. Trey.
All right, John, thanks very much, guys. LSU about 20 minutes away from having their dream come to an end. What do they have to do in the second half here?
Well, you have to get the ball to Sylvia Fowles in better positions, and the way you do that if you're stunted by that half-court defense is you get her out in transition by turning the ball over and finding her early in transition so she can go one-on-one.
And defensive adjustments for LSU. Rutgers doing a very good job peeling off those screens. You've got to crowd the shooters. I make them put them on the floor and send them into Sylvia Fowles, who's waiting to block shots.
Sylvia simply not being Sylvia at this point in the first half. 1 of 5, 2 points, 4 rebounds. That offense has got to go through her to get it going in the second half. The essence of this game has been the shooting of Rutgers. Carson, 1 of her 3 in the first half. Second half coming up in a minute.
The NCAA Women's Championship, presented on ESPN by Orbitz, is brought to you by Chevy, an American revolution.
Rutgers! Rutgers!
It's time to play Take on Orbits. This week's winner is you. That's right, you.
Go to Orbitz.com during the Hotel Mega Sale and save $100 on 5 nights at select hotels nearly anywhere in the world. Just Orbitz and go.
We knew the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year would be a tough act to follow. So we took the lead instead. Introducing the most powerful heavy duty on the planet, the all-new Silverado HD.
This is our country. Anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Give me more Fridays.
Since 1989, Coca-Cola has provided more than $35 million in college scholarships. And as the NCAA's first corporate champion, Coca-Cola proudly supports 88 NCAA championships in 23 sports for 360,000 student athletes every year. Satisfying a thirst for learning, both in the classroom and on the field. The Coca-Cola Company and the NCAA.
The issue is experience.
I am not a judge.
Linda Clifford has 0 experience putting criminals behind bars.
I am not a judge. I am not a judge.
0 experience. Judge Annette Ziegler, 10 years on the bench. The experience that got the praise of 41 district attorneys and police unions across the state. Judge Annette Ziegler, experienced at keeping Wisconsin families safe.
Max Sledgehammer, handyman extraordinaire.
At McFarland's Just Ask Rental, we know you wear a lot of hats. That's why we rent construction tools. We hang our hats on our great selection of tools for home and outdoor projects, too. And for the best party ever, just ask. We have it. Help is just around the corner. Just Ask Rental at McFarland's, Southwater Street, Sauk City.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. But get your glad rags on. Join me home. Have some fun when the clock strikes 1. Rock around.
Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland. Welcome back to national semifinal number 1, 37-19. Rutgers having its way with LSU. Rutgers obviously made its choice on defense. Sylvia Fowles is not going to beat them, and they have executed their defense beautifully.
As usual, they are defending from the inside out, and the nation's best post player has not lacked for company. This is what they have seen, the Home Depot coaching adjustments, the spot shadow. Watch how many Rutgers players converge on the catch. And every time LSU puts the ball on the floor, those fast hands from Rutgers are taking it away. This is nothing unusual for Rutgers, Mike. And you look at the shot chart for Sylvia Fowles, they have tried to do their best to make her take tough shots and spots she's not comfortable with. Only 5 shots, that's absurd.
She has 2 points, averages better than 17. And if they're to come back to win, she probably needs to score 17 in the second half.
Hard to score if you don't get touches. Let's see if they make a concerted effort. There's one look and a bucket.
15 to go. 37-21. Fouls, a consensus All-American center, unanimous All-SEC. The first player in SEC history to score a double-double in every single conference game. Not an average. She had a double-double in every one of them in that conference.
That's amazing consistency in the nation's toughest conference, drawing the best defender every night. Those numbers are incredible.
Fouls on defense this time, nearly tipped in by LSU, but they'll come out with the basketball. Cheney. 1-on-3, she took it in, maybe not a good decision, and lost the ball.
Well, I've got to believe that Bob Starkey addressed getting the basketball to Sylvia Fowles. At 6'6", we talked about her unusual array of skills. Well, this is an easy catch and an easy deuce.
Zurich, who like the rest of her teammates, shot lights out from long range in the first half. Ajavon short on the jumper. Rebound goes to LeBlanc. LSU's not going to get many easy points against Rutgers. They get back on defense so quickly, and LSU really doesn't look to run that much anyway.
Yeah, this is a major challenge for a team that is not explosive on the offensive end.
Thomas. She's one of the few that's willing to shoot from that range.
Now, sometimes there's a reason why you're wide open. I don't believe that she can make that shot consistently. That's why the sag by Rutgers. They scored 26 of their 37 first-half points, Rutgers, in the first 10 of the shot clock or the final 10 of the shot clock. That is their M.O.
Thomas averages less than 5 points a game. She did have a big 12 against Connecticut. Loose ball and a steal to Essence Carson. Rutgers very comfortable at this pace.
They do not look to get busy until this gets inside 10, and then they go off the bounce.
Carson, good look from the top of the circle. Long rebound to Cheney. 1-on-3, she'll wait for help. White has been very effective offensively. The only thing that's kept him in this ballgame.
Yeah, she had 9 of their 19 first-half points.
LeBlanc will try a 3 and hit it. Rashante LeBlanc, who has an outstanding percentage from long range, almost 45%. You wonder why she doesn't make herself available more often.
And that was the one player that most concerned Rutgers staff. They said, we will be extremely careful with LeBlanc. If she makes her first, we're going to be a lot closer to her.
She's hit 33 of 73 on the season. And here's a timeout by C. Vivian Stringer. She saw that three-point shot, didn't like the way that the LSU defense got a good look and was able to knock it down. And she'll talk about it right now. The lead's cut to 13.
Real gear for real fans. Go to ESPNshop.com.
Hey, head to the side, seat back low. When you see me riding with him in my Chevy, ride slow. I'm in my Chevy, ride slow.
Nice ride, homie. I'll trade you.
Chevy Impala SS, an American revolution.
This sure brings me back.
To when? 5 minutes ago? You never had that.
Never had a Coke before? You think I've gone soft in the head?
That's Coke Zero.
The 13th president was Millard Fillmore.
Okay.
Do you know what the capital of Djibouti is? The capital of Djibouti is Djibouti. Don't try to tell me I've never had a Coke before. Got a mind like a steel trap.
Enjoy Cokeness at mycokerewards.com. Forgive me. A decade has passed in silence, for I couldn't shame your melody with my Parkinson's. But soon, my brain will send tiny electronic notes to my fingers and bend them to my will as before. Let the neighbors bang on the walls. I will play fortissimo all night long.
Find the confidence to face any condition at Cleveland Clinic.
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
16:27 to go for the right to advance to the national championship game. The lead has been cut from 21 to 13 points. Acting head coach Bob Starkey trying to keep his kids in it.
I mentioned in the first half, Mike, that they institute at times a 5-pass rule. And they require that you make it. The players actually say they count their passes. LSU, when he institutes that rule, we'll see how they react to that.
Shot clock down to 4. Carson's going to have to launch in just before the buzzer. Tip, nice rebound to Kia Vaughn. Basket and the foul. She was outnumbered 3-1 in the middle. She kept it alive, got it, put it up, and drew the basket and the foul.
Well, she's 6'4" and highly skilled in her own right, and her frame is outstanding. She's got the strength to match up with fouls, and a young player who's got patience in the post is dangerous. She doesn't panic. She operates in the confines of a small area, takes contact, and scores it. Good stuff from Kia Vaughn.
Vaughn with her first basket of the night. She says she doesn't like playing against smaller centers. She likes somebody her own size that doesn't get down around her knees and bother her that way. Well, certainly she's got a big matchup tonight with fouls.
Yeah, I'd say that Sylvia doesn't exactly fit at her knees.
Yeah.
She's in her comfort zone tonight. Look at how far off Zurich is playing Thomas.
Thomas into the lane. Zurich gets the blocked shot. Well, they got the 5 passes, but they didn't get a good shot, as the shot clock itself was down to 5 seconds.
This is where Rutgers slows the game down, makes you guard for the full 30 seconds, requires you to be disciplined, and then uses their athleticism to create shots.
And on the end line was Adjumon, the turnover, the 8th against Rutgers. The lead, 15 with 15:19 to play.
It's time to play Take On Orbits. This week's winner is you. That's right, you.
Go to Orbitz.com during the Hotel Mega Sale and save $100 on 5 nights at select hotels nearly anywhere in the world. Just Orbitz and go.
So he sent me the most beautiful bouquet ever. What'd the card say? Only something beautiful for my something beautiful.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. Everyone here has been joking. He must have done something really bad. You don't think... you don't think he could have... Oh...
Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Now get an ultra-thin Samsung phone for only $19.99.
We knew the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year would be a tough act to follow. So we took the lead instead. Introducing the most powerful heavy duty on the planet. The all-new Silverado HD.
Anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Give me more Fridays.
Okay, now what? Rock, paper, scissors for it? Okay, that's fair. On three?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I threw paper.
I threw a rock.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Low 5.
Welcome back to the women's Final Four in Cleveland. Big night for sports. The Mets and the Cardinals, the Sunday night baseball debut. First inning from New York with the Mets and the Cardinals. Nothing there. It's 39-24 here.
Baseball means spring, and that means you'll be on the link soon. I know that makes you happy.
And watching the Cardinals. Thank you very much. Last year was rather magical. That's what LSU could use, couldn't it?
Yeah, let's count the passes. That's 2. There's 3.
I think if Fowles had gotten that ball, she'd have ignored the 5th pass.
I think she's allowed.
Yes, I think so too. That was on Kia Vaughn. 3 on her. Not only is it important from an offensive standpoint to get the ball to foul, but almost every time they did when Vaughn's been in the game, it's resulted in a personal foul.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes you play at a pace that you're more comfortable with if you're LSU. It gets you moving, it gets you cutting, it gets you speaking and talking. Look how spaced the floor is now.
Shot clock at 10. Cheney will launch a 3 and she hits it. Cheney's a 33% long-range shooter, but remember this. She is number 6 all-time in LSU history in made threes, and in the NCAA tournament, she's hit 50% from long range. So even though they're not prolific, they can hit the shots.
And she's got deep range. That was a great example. She was a couple feet beyond the arc, still able to take that. So she's an explosive scorer when she feels good.
Vaughn. Well, she had done very, very well against Fowles, who seems reluctant to go after her. Almost a tie-up here. Wide open, LeBlanc. No on the 3. Fowles had it and lost it. When she gets her hands on it, Fowles has to do a better job of retaining possession.
I think sometimes what happens, Mike, if you're not used to not getting touches and you're out of your rhythm, your tendency is to rush, and that's my sense with Sylvia. I think she wants so badly to win this game that when she does catch it, she's a bit anxious.
41-27. Still plenty of time to go in this game. Screen for Adjavon. Good hedge by Fowles. Prince with 5 on the shot clock. Double team, knocked out of bounds with 4 on the clock. Now they'll be aware of this because they're standing right in front of their head coach. She's not going to let them ignore that shot clock.
And Sylvia Fowles has got to be a presence here. If they go off the dribble, she can get the block shot.
Trying to get the backdoor cut. Got a good look, and Vaughn again kept it alive. And then she's fouled. Kiana Cheney trying to chase her down. Kia Vaughn has had a couple of huge grabs, and Essence Carson is hurt. The trainer came out and started to attend to her left ankle. She said, no, it's the other one. And it looks like she may have stepped on the edge of Cheney's shoe.
She didn't want to land on it, so almost a sense as there's a cramp there. She never landed on that right leg, Mike. It was like she was hesitant to plant on it.
North Carolina has arrived here for their game coming up around 9:30. Ivory Latta, the one whose smile will light up a building and who's one of the great trash talkers in the history of women's basketball. And she will face a big-time matchup against Tennessee tonight.
So the key for North Carolina is Ivory Latta has reached the level she was at a season ago when she was the ESPN.com Player of the Year. She's got effusive energy that goes to her teammates. They really feed off Ivory Latta's ability to get energized and emotional when she makes shots.
Hope for Cheney, all that is a cramp. White with a kick, shot clock stays at 17. Like that rule change, that it doesn't recycle automatically to 35
Mike,
or 30.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, kicking the basketball means you have active feet, which means you have good defense. There should be no reset.
Prince. When LSU really having a tough time getting rebounds. Cheney baseline with the runner, no. One and done again for LSU. The Rutgers offense not playing nearly as well here in the second half, giving LSU a chance that they haven't taken advantage of.
Yeah, they have not been able to capitalize. I think they're still shaken. Every time they put the ball on the floor in the first half, the Rutgers hands were so quick that they stripped so many of them.
Maya McCurdy, number 24, is in. She's another very athletic player. And that's a charge called on Mati Adjamon. Double teamed, and she's hurt. Let's check with Mark.
Hey guys,
and an injury update with Essence Carson.
Guys, Essence Carson, a big part of what they're doing offensively. 15 points of the game right there on the bench being examined. Trainers, athletic trainers telling me that she has a leg cramp. They're working on it. They are hopeful that she will be able to go back into the game, guys.
All right, thanks, Mark. Sometimes those will come around, sometimes they won't. Fouls a long way away. Had bad position, tried to put it up. Hit the backboard and then got the rebound, put it up again, and drew the foul.
There hasn't been a single time where Sylvia Fowles hasn't had a red jersey around her on the catch.
No.
They're making her life very difficult. This is Sylvia on the catch. Vaughn just trying to contest shots, does a great job. Now, was the foul on Zurich? Or?
Oh, Zurich got an elbow right in the chops, and they called the foul on her. That adds insult to injury.
The line has not been good to Sylvia Fowles. She gives away a lot of free points, just a 61% shooter on the season.
And somebody who goes to the line so often, she could have really moved up the all-time list of points scored for LSU.
Mike, when you look at her hand close up, I almost feel like she's Shaq-like. The ball is so small in relation to her hand that it almost sits on her palm. People have compared Shaq shooting the ball to him shooting a volleyball or a softball. It's hard to do that, and I think Sylvia, because of the size of her hands, has a similar issue.
And Shaq is like trying to shoot a peach. 11:55 to go in the ball game. 41-28. Vaughn wanted the ball inside against Fowles. They didn't get it to her. Adjavon. Good defense inside by LSU. The 10th Rutgers turnover. White, her drives have been cut off here in the second half. Phillips. Too strong. Good rebound to Zurich.
How about that check out at 15 feet? Fundamentally sound by Heather Zurich. Does a lot of the unsung things, Mike.
She wasn't about to let Phillips get to it.
Exactly. That was great stuff.
And Zurich has 4 rebounds on the night. Rutgers playing so fundamentally sound all over the court. Tough shot. Rebound to Portia Phillips, the freshman from Stone Mountain, Georgia. LSU's got to start making some buckets. Phillips for 3. No. And you wonder, where's LeBlanc taking her shots from outside? Phillips is a 15% shooter. Is she the one you want taking long-range shots? Not at 15%.
It's time to play Take On Orbitz. This week's winner is you. That's right, you.
Go to Orbitz.com during the Hotel Mega Sale and save $100 on 5 nights at select hotels nearly anywhere in the world. Just orbits and go.
Anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Give me more Fridays.
Of fencing and 3 years of law school teach you a lot. For him, it's confidence. For me, it's pride. Go to ncaastudent.org to find out how your child could become one of the many student athletes who go pro in something other than sports.
It's an honor for me to lead Meritor, an organization with such a high regard for its community's well-being. Now let me tell you just where we plan to go from here. It's a new day at Meritor, a renewed commitment to offering patients next-generation technology, second to none. Intense dedication to collaborating with the best physicians in this area. No excuses, and trusting that all 3,500 people in our organization will be focused on one mission: to heal, to teach, to serve.
Hit the road. It's the Chevy Spring Sales Event, where you'll get 0% APR, plus $1,000 bonus cash when you buy an all-new Silverado. Plus, get another $1,000 bonus cash when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Don't miss this great deal on the all-new Chevy Silverado, the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Hurry, the Chevy Spring Sales Event ends April 3rd. Visit us online at ChevyDriveBadgers.com.
Welcome back to Cleveland, Ohio, where Rutgers is leading LSU 41-28. The Scarlet Knights built a big first-half lead and have managed to hold on in the second half in spite of some dreadful shooting. Rutgers only 2 out of 11, but LSU has only done them one better at 3 out of 11. So they haven't been able to shave that lead down very much.
Mike, this has been a resilient LSU team. We documented in the first half that they lost their head coach, Pokey Chapman, to allegations of inappropriate relationships with former players. This team has endured a lot. That man has been a rock-solid individual. His temperament has allowed this team to navigate its way through rough waters. Well, they're in tough shape right now, but there's been no panic from that sideline. They have the ability to come back.
You just have to wonder where they would be without Starkey. Vaughn hits the shot. He's a guy who is not campaigning for any other job. Says his goal is to come back as an LSU assistant next year. You got to love somebody who's that comfortable in their own skin and enjoys the job that they do that much.
Yeah, knows his strengths and weaknesses. Vaughn doing a nice job facing Sylvia Fowles and attacking her face to face. Not backing down at all is Kia Vaughn.
Growing more confident each time she does it as well. LeBlanc. This is the girl who hit the earlier three, who has such a great percentage. Didn't look that good on that one.
And now they could slow the game again, play to their pace. 44-1 over the last couple of years when they've got the advantage in the latter stages of the second half.
Rutgers is a hot team. They have won 7 in a row, their biggest streak of the year. They are playing their best defense. They're shooting the ball better than they have. Let's check in with John Buchagras, Sports Center 30 at 30 update.
Thanks, Mike. Of course, Maryland and defending national champion Michael Phelps, born in Baltimore, Maryland. The 21-year-old won his 7th gold medal today and his 5th world record. Boy, he can't wait till Beijing next summer. And Morgan Pressel, youngest LPGA player ever to win a major. She won the Kraft and Bisco today. Details on Sports Center after basketball later. Back to you, Michael.
All right, thanks, John. Kia Vaughn at the line. Sophomore from the Bronx, 35 pounds lighter than she was when she came on campus as a freshman. What do they say, the freshman 15? That's supposed to be a gain of 15.
Not when you play for Vivian Stringer.
No.
That's an automatic minus 25.
Vaughn has all 8 points for the Scarlet Knights in the second half. The lead is back to 17. Danger time for LSU. They can't afford any more missed shots or any more mistakes. They're trying to avoid 4 straight trips to the Final Four and 4 straight losses.
How about this Rutgers team? Again, not a senior on the roster. 5 freshmen competing for Vivian Stringer.
Vaughn too strong on that, but an offensive rebound to Prince. Goes outside. Ray. Boy, can Erica White get up at 5'3". A lot of contact, offensive foul. That's on Cheney. 3 on Kiana Cheney. Here's Mark Jones.
Guys, a few minutes ago, the medical staff of Rutgers took Essence Carson into the team locker room. They tell me that they're going to hydrate her by giving her an IV bag for the next 5 to 10 minutes to see if that helps to alleviate what they are still calling as leg cramps. Guys, back to you.
When it's severe, Mark, that's about the only thing that gets rid of it, is to add the fluids and not just have a bottle of Gatorade either.
Well, how about Rutgers surviving without Vaughn in the first half, now without Carson here in the second?
Seems to have no effect whatsoever.
Well, speaks volumes about the mental toughness of the players in the Rutgers uniform and the kind of direction they're getting from that staff over there. You've got 2 Hall of Famers in Marianne Stanley and Vivian Stringer, and they are not blinking.
Everybody willing to set hard screens, everybody willing to play defense. It's a tough bunch of kids. And you would expect that with C. Vivian Stringer. Starkey seeing his ball club starting to lose hope. They're down by 17, trying to keep them in it.
It's time to play Take on Orbits. This week's winner is you. That's right, you.
Go to Orbitz.com during the Hotel Mega Sale and save $100 on 5 nights at select hotels nearly anywhere in the world. Just Orbitz and go.
They pick up their games, pick up their teams, and pick up the pace. Enterprise salutes NCAA student athletes for picking us all up. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Calories provide energy, but how much energy do you need? Powerade Option, the low-calorie sports drink.
Don't think of them as tools. This is not a saw, it's a deck. So we can grill out. And this is a shelf for our vacation pictures. And this, okay, really?
It's the Home Depot Tool Event. Get an instant $35 to $500 off from power tools and wet dry vacs to generators and more. Now through April 11th.
So this is my nice clean garage, right?
The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
I talk.
I swing.
I hit.
I fly. And I throw. Like a girl.
At State Farm, we've always believed in the spirit of the female athlete. That's why we're committed to supporting women's athletics.
If these walls could talk, they'd say with field goal posts this narrow, threading the needle is not always done with your hands. If these walls could talk, they'd say you have to see it to believe it. Russell Athletic, ESPN Arena Football, Monday, April 9th at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented on ESPN by Orbitz. Save big at Orbitz.com. Just Orbitz and go.
That's the display for William Bootsy Collins, a pioneering funk bassist, a singer and a songwriter inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. You know Bootsy.
I do
Remember
now.
These Bootsies were made for walking? I think that was maybe not.
Sylvia Fowles has been rendered ineffective by the defensive brilliance of Vivian Stringer. They know your personnel as well as you do.
Yes, they do. 47 to 28. LSU has not had a basket since 14-42. on the clock 7 minutes ago.
That was a 2-2-1 back to a 2-3 zone. They played this zone here in the second half, so they continue to try to extend this drought by making LSU look at different things.
Ball knocked outside and picked up by Misha Williams, who will try it again for the same result. Rutgers basketball. And they'll go under 7 minutes on this possession. The clock now an ally for the Scarlet Knights as they try to win their 27th game. What a job by Fawn.
Wow.
Wide open, Brittany Ray. Everybody making threes tonight for Rutgers, and it's 50-28. The Scarlet Knight faithful can taste it now. And it looked like LSU's great run is going to come to an end. There's Hightower hitting the three.
Sylvia Fowles getting ready to check back in, but you had the sense from the opening of this game that Rutgers took the heart right out of LSU. They made shots. They guarded them harder than anybody had done all season, and LSU didn't have a lot of answers.
No, they did have their opportunities with the wide open jump shots, but not with fouls. And that's their go-to player. Nobody else really stepped up from the outside. Erica White had some big baskets in the first half, driving, but very reluctant to shoot from outside.
Yeah, exactly. And Rutgers, no reluctance. This is Brittany Ray, who, along with Epiphany Prince, has helped to contribute to Vivian's best three-point shooting team in her tenure. And yeah, you should react like that, Vivian Stringer. You got a chance to compete for a national title, or at least you're 6 minutes from it.
Their last 5 wins have been included Connecticut, Duke, and Arizona State, and now LSU. This team has gotten so much better over the course of the season. A lot of people forget they started 2-4. They were really dreadful at the start of the year, but one of the reasons they were so young.
Yeah, the 5 freshmen. Heather Zurich was a player who did not really figure into the rotation a season ago. In November, Vivian Stringer referenced this team as the worst defensive team she's ever coached. I think she's changed her opinion.
They're pretty good now. Here comes White. 6 minutes to go in national semifinal number 1. The lead is 19. LeBlanc had the shot, didn't take it. Hightower got it. 50-33. Hightower now with 5. She's from Arlington, Texas. 5'10" shooting guard. They're a little easier to make at this stage of the game because the pressure is pretty much gone.
Yes. Ajavon and Carson, your 2 most experienced, with 29 points, leading the way.
Prince got the roll. Essence Carson being hydrated in the locker room, not being able to be out here and enjoy the last few minutes. Fouls. Totally out of control and missed everything. Well, they've just gone after her as soon as the ball gets anywhere near her.
Well, Mike, they've made her work on both ends of the floor. You've touched on the fact that Kia Vaughn has been very solid, tipping the basketball, keeping things alive. She's made her work.
And Ajavon, who we were so impressed with in Greensboro, just continues to impress everybody. She is just a tremendous talent. Not only physically, but she's smart. She understands this game.
She's smart and she's tough. She brings an edge and an attitude. There's a confidence that this team gets from her.
LSU just can't buy one now. Epiphany Prince with a rebound, and she's fouled. Let's go to Mark Jones. Mark?
Guys, see Vivian Stringer, the head coach for Rutgers, not somebody that lets her players take things for granted. In fact, when they were 5-5, she said, you know what, you are not worthy of the privileges of Rutgers University. You're not playing Rutgers basketball. So as a result, She kicked them out of their very spacious, luxurious locker room on campus, took away their practice gear. They even had to do their own laundry. And this lasted, guys, for an entire month. At times, they had to end up doing their own laundry in the sink. When she decided they were playing hard enough, when they were playing well enough, and putting out the effort, she let them back in. Mike?
You know, Mark, it really makes people focus when you take them out of their comfort zone, and she did just that. Took them way out of their comfort zone.
Not surprisingly, the rookies look to Kia Vaughn for them to do her laundry.
Rutgers has extended its lead here in the second half, even though Carson and Adjavon are not in the scorebook in the last 20 minutes. But their defense has determined that that doesn't matter. Fouls coming out on the hedge, trying to make something happen. She picks up the foul. 3:58 to go in the ball game. The second semifinal features two #1 seeds. The Lady Vols of Tennessee and Player of the Year Candace Parker playing for Pat Summitt of Tennessee.
Saturdays, anyone can rock it on a Saturday. Give me something to look forward to on a Wednesday between my boss and my commute. Give me surround sound in my cubicle. Give me grilled chicken that keeps things light with an Asian glaze that keeps things interesting. Give me a half rack of ribs and a full rack of napkins. Give me the top down and a wide open lane. Give me a cedar seared salmon that only tastes expensive. Give me a new way to eat out. Smaller portions and prices so I can rock it any day I want. Life is short. Give me more Fridays.
Your new TV is awesome. The picture quality is amazing. Check it out. I'm watching basketball.
That's not a TV, dude. That's my new phone.
Shut up.
Hello?
Get out. Singular has TVs that make phone calls?
Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah.
Okay.
Only Singular gives you up-to-the-minute exclusive NCAA March Madness video highlights. Singular, now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Robbie Knievel buses and a canyon, a jet engine, and a double world record jump in the making. Sounds like he is about to come out. There he goes. Oh, yeah! It's a terrible scene, ladies and gentlemen. He is on fire. Hey! Oh, my God. Robbie. Oh, hey, there's Robbie over there. Robbie, let me just ask you a quick question. What happened? Did someone talk some sense into you?
No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Honey, look at this.
Is it for all of us?
Yeah. $1,600 for a week. Well, we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
The magic begins when you realize you can afford a Disney vacation. Other affordable packages all year long. Visit DisneyWorld.com/affordable.
ESPN's coverage of the 2007 NCAA Women's Final Four is broadcast in high definition and presented by Olivier. 3:58 to go in the game. Rutgers 52-33 over LSU. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, this is an attractive job opening for LSU, and people might be wondering the future of Bob Starkey. Well, I spoke with senior women's administrator Judy Southard, who is heading up that coaching search. She said that she had a direct conversation with Bob Starkey, and he has flat out told them he is not interested. He does not feel comfortable being the head coach. He feels like LSU deserves someone with more experience, not someone learning on the job. She did confirm, though, that she has had direct conversations, phone conversations with 3 different candidates and been contacted by 2 agents. They have not brought anyone on campus yet or offered the job to anyone. After they won in the regional, she and athletic director Skip Burtman decided it would be unfair to have another distraction for these ladies by announcing a new head coach. So they will resume interviews Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of next week.
I think they've made an excellent choice there, and you know, you got to admire Bob Starkey so much for just wanting to do his job, not caring about the money, not caring about the promotion. There need to be more people in this business like Bob Starkey.
Yeah, I think he undersells himself a little bit.
I do too.
In this day and age, you can hire a recruiting coordinator and basically take yourself off the road. You do have to finish the job as a head coach. But you're right. I mean, he just enjoys being an assistant. And he talked about the fact that my strengths are in the film room and game preparation. It's the fundraising and going out and meeting with booster groups and the recruiting that I have zero interest in doing.
Well, you can't blame him there. Good job to keep the dribble alive by Mati Adjavan. 2:50 to go in a game that Rutgers has dominated from the start. They have earned this one. Ray got her own rebound. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. And good news, Essence Carson is back on the Rutgers bench after being hydrated in the locker room. Foul's going to be on Thomas.
Well, nice to see a smile on her face. This young woman can play 4 instruments. She's an outstanding student and has made herself a terrific basketball player.
And this will be a low point as far as points scored concerned for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers in the Final Four.
You think about the fact that they held Duke to 21 first-half points. They held Connecticut in the Big East Championship game to 47 points. That is the total they've given up in the 4 prior NCAA tournament games. And what a brilliant defensive performance. And this was a different challenge for them.
And defense doesn't get any better than that. To hold teams that can score like that. Fouls with another bad miss. And you're right. You could tell how much she's rushing those shots. I think it's so exciting for her when she finally gets a hold of the ball. White with the steal. No quitting this kid. White with a miss. Got to credit Adjavan with getting back on defense. NCAA college basketball continues. Trey Wingo, after this game, will have the women's college basketball update. Lindsey Harding, Gino Auriemma, Candace Parker off the court. The All-American, and most people consider the best there is in women's basketball. Certainly as fluid as anybody's ever played.
At her size, I've never seen a college basketball player with the complete package, the skill set, the wealth of opportunities she gives you on the offensive end to score the basketball. Candace Parker is worth a watch.
Brittany Ray likes that spot on the court. She's hit a couple from there. And see Vivian Stringer. If she had any doubt before, knows it's over now. 59-35, celebrating a beautiful job by her ball club on both ends of the court. Katie Antoni, number 4, is in for LSU. And number 44, Kristen Morris, is in. And now both teams, I think, are going to get everybody on the floor for the last minute 8. Boy, Doris, you have to be so impressed with what Rutgers has done in this tournament. They have just been sensational. People will question, how can you be now 27-8 and be a legitimate national championship contender? Last third of the season, they've been as good as anybody.
Well, they took the nation's best post player out of the game from the outset. Vivian Stringer is one of the best defensive minds in women's college basketball. We wondered how she would guard her. Well, they came out in a man-to-man defense, but they had plenty of help for Kia Vaughn, who did a nice job pushing Sylvia, being physical, making her work on both ends of the floor. And what Kia Vaughn did, she got the 2 fouls early, Mike. But in the second half, she was disciplined, and the frustration from Sylvia fouls, every time she caught it, it was a push shot, a rush shot. She was completely taken out of the ballgame. 2
points in the first half, 3 points in the second half for a consensus All-American center. And 2 out of 10 from the floor. That's amazing.
You know, when Rutgers won the regional final, someone asked, is there, you know, can they win in the Final Four? I said the one team that could give them the most trouble is Carolina, because it is difficult to guard all their athleticism and depth. That second matchup should be a great game between Tennessee and Carolina.
Mitchell with a steal, fouled from behind by Deedon Jernigan, a freshman from Chicago. Losing is always a bitter pill to swallow, but considering what this program has gone through with the controversy swirling about Pokey Chapman and the allegations of improper contact with a former player, You got to take your hat off to these kids for hanging in there.
Well, I think that speaks volumes about the strength of character of these young women and the strong leadership of Bob Starkey.
Mitchell off on that free throw. Ray with a rebound. And is tied up by Morris. Look at what they've done against some great scores. Abby Weiner held to 5. Emily Westerberg held to 6. I mean, these are great scores. Fouls held to 5.
Lindsay Harding, who will join us between games, ESPN.com's Player of the Year for this year, also had 5. So Weiner and Harding a combined 10 points. Be interesting to hear if Harding's got some thoughts about what it's like to play against this Rutgers defense.
It's in your face. It's very physical, very aggressive. And none of them are afraid to stick their nose in there and play very, very solid contact defense.
Incredibly intelligent defenders. Mark Jones talked in his open piece about how hard Vivian Stringer works at the game. She averages about 3 hours a night since the NCAA tournament started. 3 hours of sleep. She goes through about 12 to 15 cups of coffee a day. Mark Jones is right on the money. You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who will outwork her. No 4 seed, Mike, has ever won. Can they do it?
I wouldn't really want to bet against them at this point. They've got everything right now. They are playing with such incredible confidence. They're doing everything better than they've done all year. Everything. They will get their chance on Tuesday night against the winner of North Carolina and Tennessee. Two of the most dominant programs in women's basketball, but Rutgers will be there waiting. And see Vivian Stringer with a brilliant job tonight. She holds LSU to 35 points and wins it by 24. That's the fewest ever points for LSU in a women's Final Four game. Rutgers advances. One more step to go. See, Vivian Stringer has never won the national championship. She has taken 3 different teams to the national championship. Never won it. North Carolina and Tennessee. North Carolina won it with Sylvia Hatchell once. Pat Summitt seems to win it all the time with Tennessee.
She's convinced this team, and there she embraces Sylvia Fowles, knows she did a good job. She's convinced this team that they do not have to be the best team in the country. All they have to do is be the best team for 40 minutes.
And only 40 minutes more. That would produce a national championship. Here's Mark Jones with C. Vivian Stringer.
And I've got Mati Ajavon as well, and we're going to do this live. Yes, we will, guys. Coach, an incredible performance defensively, holding Sylvia Fowles to well below her season average. How'd you do it in the long run?
We just put a lot of pressure on the ball and recognize, what each player individually could do, and put a lot of pressure on Sylvia. She most times had 2 people on her.
Ajavon here. Mati had a great night shooting the 3 ball. How much did that figure into your game plan coming into this game? It was a huge factor.
Well, I mean, in order to go inside, you got to open it up on the outside. We expected to go inside out. We weren't going to be afraid of Sylvia. We wanted to take it to her by way of drives or whatever, but it always helps whenever you're shooting the 3 ball well. And Matt opened it up, as well as Essence, Epiphany, and obviously you can see from Brittany Ray.
What does it mean to be just 1 game away now, 1 victory away from the national championship?
It's a dream come true. We're just going to work hard, get some rest, and see what we can do about this next one.
All right, I'm going to get to your star 3-point shooter here, Coach. But you came out and you hit your shots. Did you make a concerted effort to do that, to attack like that from the beginning?
I didn't really think about the 3. We just basically want to attack, get inside to outside. So when when the shots open up, it was easy to get Kia Vaughn inside.
Mati, earlier this week, you guys met with Billie Jean King, the tennis champion. She told you to look at your opponent's eyes, to take cues. At what point could you see that LSU might have been a little defeated and down about this?
I think we did a good job of, keeping Sylvia Fowles out of the game, and I think she was a little frustrated, but, it was just a defensive effort. I give a lot of thanks to my teammates. We did it, so we're here to stay.
With that, you are a player game. Good luck in the next game.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Mark, thanks so much. And Rutgers now 1 step away Final score 59-35. Rutgers over LSU. We'll be back with semifinal number 2 between North Carolina and Tennessee. But first, let's go to Trey Wingo for the NCAA Women's College Basketball Update.
All right, Mike, thanks very much and welcome in. Glad you are here with us in Cleveland. Trey Wingo, Carol Lawson, Stacey Dales, and Lindsey Harding, ladies and gentlemen, a special guest. Lindsey, thanks for being with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You know what it's like to play this Rutgers team. What is it about what they do defensively that makes it so tough to score?
Rutgers has incredible help defense. I mean, once you get past one, there's another one coming right in your face. So I know for us, their guards are so quick and it's so hard to get around. They play great pressure. They just know the game.
They certainly do. We'll get into more of your game with Rutgers a little bit later on. Guys, you look at the records that were set in this game. Fewest points by a team, that now belongs to LSU. Fewest points total, that now belongs to this game. Lowest field goal percentage for LSU, 26%. Rutgers came out and just suffocated this squad.
Yeah, I think you look at this team, and they have such a controlled game plan. And as a defensive team, what you want to be able to do is control the players that you're defending. Rutgers does a tremendous job of that. They stick to the game plan. They stick to the scouting report, making other people beat you than Sylvia Fowles. They were a team that was convinced that LSU could not beat them unless Sylvia Fowles was a big part of it, and they did not allow Sylvia Fowles to be a big part of it.
Yeah, well, what I saw, and Lindsey Harding actually talked about it, one of them you get past one of them and there's somebody waiting for you, and that's called active defense. And the player that was waiting all game was Miss Kia Vaughn. In my mind, she was the most impressive player in this basketball game. She did everything, folks. She didn't have all the stat stuffers, but she only took 5 shots because she guarded Sylvia Fowles to a T. The game plan, the activity, the tireless work of Kia Vaughn was very special.
And now Rutgers is 1 win away on Tuesday night from having their second team NCAA title in school history to match the 1949 men's fencing title that they shared with Army. How did they do it? Let's take you through what was an impressive display of basketball by the Scarlet Knights. LSU and the Rutgers bands both fired up. Sylvia was hoping to be a force, but Kia Vaughn said no chance.
Yeah, it was their physical, like I talked about, quality of shots. Kia Vaughn did not allow Sylvia Fowles to have an impact by being physical with her.
Fowles only 2 points in the first half, and then Stacey, they were raining threes.
They were spanking threes. I mean, 4 for T. Agevon in the first half. Essence Carson opens a can in the first half. It was the difference in the basketball game, Trey. When you build a lead, when you're Rutgers, LSU didn't have the power to come back offensively. Rutgers, a better perimeter game.
Rutgers led 37-16 at the break. Agevon and Carson 16 and 13 respectively, and then it was over. The second half was just a slow waltz to that final score, 59-35. Now Rutgers has a chance to go where they have never gone. Considering the way they play defense, what do you think of their chances regardless of who they play in the next game?
Well, I like their chances. In particular, if they can get out to an early lead. This is a team that is a great closing team because they have the ability to slow the game down when they do get that lead. Rutgers, you just have a feeling they've captured something, and a team in March that captures momentum, that's able to bottle up a sense of destiny, they ultimately win the championship, and you just get a feeling, Stacey, that Rutgers has something special going right now.
Well, they do have something special. I want to tell you a story that Coach Vivian Stringer told us 2 days ago. She took this team to a sports psychology group called Icebox, and she wanted to unlock the minds of the athletes. She wanted her athletes to play free. They did this early in the season. I'm going to tell you something. These guys played free, and they're going to a championship game. And I'm going to tell you what, the semifinalists that are waiting to play better look at some tape, what they just saw with Rutgers, and come out and play tonight.
Well, they got to figure out to do what nobody has been able to do in this tournament, and that is score points against that Rutgers defense. Next semifinal coming up is North Carolina and Tennessee, a couple of #1 seeds, Ivory Latta and company back here for a second straight year trying to represent the ACC. And if you talk about the ACC, you have to bring in the ACC Player of the Year and Lindsey Harding. Okay, Lindsey, you know Tennessee, you know North Carolina. The last 2 times they've played, North Carolina has handled Tennessee pretty well. What do you expect in this next semifinal?
I think everyone talks about Ivory Latta, Orlena Larkins, and for Tennessee, Candace Parker. And I think the last time they played each other, Bobby did a great job with Latta. But I think that there's the difference makers on the team. And I think that Alexis Hornbuckle is doing a great job for them. And she's going to make a difference for Tennessee, and Camille Little for UNC. So I feel like out of those two, who's going to step up the most can be a big help for their team.
Well, we saw that for sure in the first semifinal with Agevon and Essence Carson's doing that. And now it is up to North Carolina to try and try and do what they've done the last 2 times, which is really handle this Tennessee squad. It was a year ago in this building in the regional finals where Tennessee and North Carolina met for a right to get to the Final Four in Boston, and they did not have a shot. They never had a lead in this game. Now they are coming back. Tennessee is with a shot at redemption.
When we first got here, you know, we had a lot of fun. We was kind of overwhelmed with like the being kind of on celebrity status and things like that. And I think that kind of distracted us a little bit last year.
As a freshman, you know, coming in, it was overwhelming with people coming at you with, you know, you can win it all.
Memories are us going out there playing, also me getting injured in the first quarter and not able to go out there and help my team. I definitely remember the loss and how hard it was to overcome that loss.
It's not about just one person. Ivory's the floor general, and when she goes down, we need other people to step up. I mean, leadership to come from everywhere. I think that was a lesson learned last year.
A lot of times this season, we may have been highly ranked, but I think we're still looked over. We're just looking to prove everybody wrong who's been down us all year.
We have to prove something every year. I think this year is that we're definitely the #1 team out there and definitely the #1 team to beat.
Well, we shall see if they can get it done. North Carolina back here for the 2nd straight year, trying to go one step further. They have a national championship. That was back in 1994. They'd sorely love to add another one. Then again, so would Tennessee. It would be the 7th in school history. 2nd semifinal coming up in just a little bit. Tennessee ready to roll, trying to get it done and win that 7th NCAA championship for Pat Sumner coming. Much more coming with Lindsey Harding in just a little bit as we continue here on the Championship Update Special.